What's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Coffee Pod. My name is Chisha Zed.
Drink the coffee, it'll make you feel better.
Woman claims women don't leave good marriages. But is she sure about that? Guys, you're going to want to see this. No more wasting time. Let's get it.
Women don't leave good marriages. I love this comment. Is what woman is going to leave a good marriage? And what man is going to leave a good marriage? I'm going to say statistics are showing that 70% of divorces are filed by women. So we're going to go with the women topic here today. They don't just wake up one morning and are like, hey, you made $1 million this year. I'm going to leave and take the kids and I'm going to take all your money and the house and I'm going to leave you dry and it doesn't matter what you want. Even though so many freaking men seem to think that that's what happened. Oh no, women are leaving horrible marriages. Women are leaving marriages in which the man has zero emotional intelligence, has zero input to the marriage. Women are the ones who literally, in all statistics, have done everything they possibly can.
They've done everything right, guys, is the basic overall conclusion here, is what sounds like we're getting to. But let's keep listening. Stay with me. Stay with me here for a little bit.
They have spoken to their husband. They have said, I need more of this. They have tried to work with their husband to figure out how to get that balance back that they had in the beginning of the relationship. They are the ones putting in the effort.
Gotcha.
And the men are the ones who are sitting back and saying, well, isn't it your job to figure all of this out?
Wow.
And trust me, I know, because that is what my first marriage was.
Interesting. So let's address the first point she had right there, which is inspired by the comment I see that she's responding to there at the top of her video. This commenter said, why would you divorce someone if it's a good marriage, or why would you divorce a good man? We can even roughly translate, right? If you're a woman who's like, my man is good, why would you divorce him? Well, she claims that women aren't divorcing good men or leaving good marriages, but we do in fact have confirmation that women are actually divorcing good men and leaving good marriages. And that's not me saying that. Don't believe me? Well, maybe I'll let this woman explain it a little bit better, who's encouraging women to leave good men. Check it out.
Your husband is a good guy, but you're ready for divorce? You're not a bad person. So don't let guilt get the best of you. You're not doing him any favors by staying. If anything, you're actually going to start building up resentment. Your relationship doesn't have to be toxic to validate your feelings of wanting to leave.
So, guys, that's a video I released 10 months ago. Looks like maybe this chick hasn't seen it. This video was really popular on TikTok. Now, you may think, of course, this video was viral because it's ridiculous, right? Because there were a lot of people like myself speaking out and saying, why would you encourage women who are already leaving marriages at a 70% rate? Why would you encourage those women to further feel comfortable breaking their vows, especially when there's no problem? She literally said, the man doesn't have to be toxic. He can be a good man. And you may think it was popular because people disagreed, but no, just like I do in every video, here are comments from that video to prove that she wasn't the only woman that didn't drink coffee. Check it out. I check out this first comment from a woman that says, good guys don't always make good husbands. Here's another comment from another woman that says, I stayed way too long because of this. So she stayed way too long because there was no actual reason to leave. She wasn't happy, and that itself was reason enough. Does that sound familiar? And so if you're looking for proof of women leaving good men and good marriages that don't have any serious issues, there's your proof. But let's keep listening.
I lived that. I did everything I possibly could to do what I could to save the marriage. I was exhausted. I was emotionally drained. I couldn't emotionally take care of my kids. I went through a depression. I lost my sense of self. I was trying so hard just to keep the marriage together that I became a shadow of a person. Do not be the person that goes into my comments and says, well, that's on you. That is a scapegoat answer, and that is bullshit. Because us women, we're the ones who have the emotional stability in the relationship. And when we're doing everything, you can see all this commentary about mental load, that plays a part of it. But when we're the ones trying to make the marriage work, and the partner, our partner, the one that is supposed to be equal with us, because everybody wants to talk about equality. So our partner is supposed to be putting in equal effort, and they're doing zero.
See, that's the problem, man. These chicks have been convinced that there is such thing as equality within a relationship. First of all, you have to know the type of marriage that you want, what you value in a relationship. And men who watch my channel, of course, they desire the type of dynamic where a woman embraces her strengths, nurturing, feminine, submissive, and a man being that leader. It doesn't mean anybody's more important than somebody else in that situation. Now, in practice, the truth is it will never really ever be 50-50 in any dynamic, even if you want to 50-50. Sometimes one person has to pick up a little bit of the extra mental load. Sometimes a woman might step up. But the question is, in general, what type of dynamic do you want? And a lot of these chicks are hell-bent on this 50-50 dynamic that just doesn't exist. Life doesn't work that way. Let's keep listening.
Okay, they're doing zero, or they're doing the barest minimum of possibility of anything. They're not paying attention to the kids. They're not helping. Sally needs her shoe put on. She's throwing a fit. And, husband just walks on by. He doesn't stop. He doesn't help. He walks on by and is like, oh, well, that's your job. That's the kind of stuff people are leaving. They're leaving because their partners are not partners anymore. And the women are the ones who don't just wake up and think, hey, I'm just going to take everything today. They're the ones who are doing everything they possibly can, and they're getting shit on by their partner because their partner's not putting in any effort. You pull up statistics with regards to the women take everything. Most of the time, if children are small, moms get more custody of their kids. In so many states, and I don't know the exact number, but in so many states, the information of like who makes money and who's going to provide health insurance and all of that is literally put into a computer system, and the court is the one who dictates who pays child support, who pays alimony, and how much. It's not this idealistic of the 10% of people that get an actual attorney and they file and they go after the other person for all of their money. It's not that. In 90% of the cases, they're settled in mediation, and all of the information is put into a computer system. So
they're settled in mediation, from what I know, and I've heard this from the lead attorney, follow him on YouTube, and I'm not quoting him exactly here, but from what I understand, men can't afford to go and fight for a better situation in a lot of cases.
Don't sit there and say that women are divorcing because they want money from their partners. That is the scapegoat. It's a cop out, and it is a lack of understanding why women are leaving marriages.
All right. So there's that chick. I'm hesitant to play the second video just because, let's check it out. Somebody responded back to that video. A commenter said, it works both ways. Men often are the ones trying everything to save the marriage. The courts favor women. And here's what she had to say in response to that.
I am not trying to call you out. I'm just using this comment because it is a comment, and there's tons of comments in that video, just one on the top. It goes both ways. Men are often trying everything to save the marriage. The problem with that comment, and I'm not trying to be argumentative, but the problem is that most of the time it is too late for the man to try and save the marriage. If you are trying to save the marriage, that means that it has gotten to the point where it has been broken down so badly that the amount of times that that relationship can be saved are probably under 10%. It is the lack of emotional awareness of men in the relationship, and generalized terms, so don't come after me for that, but usually it is not until the woman or the partner steps in and says, hey, I can't do this anymore, to when the man is the one that's like, well, wait a minute. Like, they feel like they're blindsided.
Here's my problem with this whole, it's too late to save the marriage. That goes directly against the vows that were made in the beginning of the marriage. The vows of through sickness, through health, through anything, That goes directly that. Can we change the vows? Can we say, hey, if I get frustrated to the point where I don't want to fix it anymore, I am capable of doing that. Like, these are the terms of which I will leave this marriage. And it's not through sickness and health and every terrible situation. And you might say, well, just based on the whole concept of no fault divorce, men should already know that. That's true. But then let's get rid of these vows that are made that I promise you women don't want to get rid of those vows, right? They don't want to personalize those vows. They don't want a man to say, well, if you stop putting out, I might cheat on you. Wait, you might what? They don't want that type of honesty, because that's what it all comes down to.
And that is the problem. The problem is that men get to that point where they feel blindsided because they've lacked the ability to pay attention to all of the other things that have led up to that one particular point of the woman saying, I am gone. And then the men feel like they've been attacked and that they did everything they possibly could in the relationship, when in actuality, they were the ones at the end of the relationship to be like, well, what can I do? And the woman's like, you can't do anything. Like, I've asked for this stuff for the last 10 years or 7 years or whatever, and you ignored me. I watched a really good video. I wish I could find it and stitch it, but of basically it is, a guy who's, crying. And then the video is kind of a step process. Like, first question, hey, can you help me with something? And the man blows it off. Nope, I'm in the middle of doing something. I can't help you right now. I'll do it later. Second question, 2 weeks later, hey, can you do this? I asked you to do this. Yeah, I got this. And he never finishes it. And it goes on. And 6 months later, she's like, can I just hire someone to do it? And then he gets mad at, I told you I was going to do it. Let me do it. Except we're 6 months past the initial ask and the subsequent asks. And now he's deflecting and he's like, well, I'm going to handle it. But yet he hasn't handled it. And that is a very clear description of what actually happens. Women will ask for something and they'll be told by their partner, I'm busy, or I can't do it right now. And then they ask again, like, hey, I shouldn't have to remind you of something that I asked you to do, but now I'm reminding you because you didn't follow through with what you said the first time. And it's this perpetual ask. And then you get to the point where she's nagging you and you're like, well, now she's nagging. But you lack the ability to recollect that you've told her multiple times that you're going to do it and you didn't do it. That over and over and over, that coupled with the idea that, oh, I was blindsided, I never saw this coming, what are you talking about? That's where we get to, it takes two to, leave a marriage, or their man's trying to do everything in a marriage.
I think the blindsided part, also, we can also say that if people spoke about like their deal breakers, like I said, which women will have to be honest about this. As a man, you should know, is the woman who you're pursuing basing the satisfaction or success of her relationship on her happiness, on her feeling fulfilled? Is she looking at the big picture? And I'm not saying she shouldn't feel fulfilled at all, but I'm saying, are there other things that are right in that situation too? Are you a good father? Because a lot of women, they approach marriage in the sense that if you're not giving her what she needs, then she doesn't look at you as somebody who's a good father to the kids, right? Those things aren't separate. And so she's willing to break up the whole family instead of looking at it like, you know what? We can work through this. If you're willing to work through it, I am, etc. But guys, listen, as always, I'm curious to know, what do you think? Leave your comments down below. I appreciate you for checking out yet another episode of the Coffee Pod. Till next time, I'm out. Peace.